Thank you. Let's hear it for Sally. Let's give her a round of applause. Great job she's doing. Good evening, Comedy Store. Let me tell you what I hate about being English and living in America. Nothing. Except everyone here thinks I'm Australian. Sally's right, I've been touring. I actually earned more money from stand-up comedy in the last 2 weeks than I earned in the last 2 years. Thank you. Thank you very much. And he still doesn't pay the rent, so that's good, isn't it? I think my comedy career is just one big joke. I've been playing the great towns of America. I played a place called Squim. You must have all heard of that in Washington. Yeah, famous for lavender. And as good a place as anywhere in America to get crabs, apparently. So it says on the sign. I then went through a place called Medford in Oregon. Anyone heard of Medford, Oregon? Yeah! There you go. Famous for lumber and meth. My only word of advice, sir, is don't take meth in the morning. You won't get wood all day. There was one other town I went through, which was called Richland. Anyone been through Richland? No one's been through Richland, and there's a reason. I asked them, why is this town famous? And no one would tell me until I was leaving. And they said, oh, we built the atomic bomb. That's why I couldn't find any sushi bars in that town. But one thing I noticed up there is the weather. I mean, the amount of snow I saw. I saw more white stuff than Charlie Sheen could snort in a lifetime. It was unbelievable. As I was driving along, there was this sign. It said, hazardous, do not continue. And I thought, that can't be for me. I've got jokes to tell. But I couldn't see anywhere I was going. And the only thing that was guiding me was my GPS. And it was just like solid blue. And it was at that point that I could see my obituary. Yeah, kind of funny guy, Dave. Couldn't tell the difference between a highway and a lake. It's at points like that in my comedy career, I thought there must be an easier way of earning a living. And I believe there is, because I got a phone call from a lawyer earlier on today, and he said, do you feel that the entertainment industry is prejudiced against you? I said, I do actually, I'm broke. And he said, well, are you over 40? I said, well, it's a bit personal, but yes, I am. He said, well, that's why you haven't been writing TV in Hollywood. I said, well, I thought it's because I hadn't applied for any jobs, but thank you. I mean, apparently what happens if you live in the Los Angeles County, if you're 39 and under, executives come round to your house and say, wake up, get up, you've got to write something. What should I write? I don't care, I'm not a writer. I've got to get to the studio. There's all those 40-year-olds trying to write something. We've got to stop that. I mean, I never had a lawyer in England. I didn't know what they did. But here, I mean, I have a lawyer for everything. I mean, before I flush in the morning, I ring my lawyer and say, was that the right decision, sir? I think they're like that magic clean eraser. You know, they're good for everything in this country. I mean, I've got one for, he's purely for entertainment. But I don't understand. He doesn't sing, he doesn't dance. And the nearest thing he's got to a joke is when he gives me his bill. I mean, he charges $900 an hour. $900 an hour. I had to say to him, how can you do that? He said, well, you're paying for my education. I said, well, how about you pay for mine and we call it quits? He says, no, you don't know what I do. I said, but I do, because you write it all down for me. There was $200 for photocopying. I mean, seriously, I said, give me a call next time. I'll go down to Kinko's. If I go in a Hummer, it'll cost less than $35. There was one line, and it was $300 for thinking time. Thinking time. David Conolly, $300. Oh, I thought of him again, $600. I mean, what's he going to do next? Oh, I was feeling a bit stressed about your case, David, so I had a wank. Didn't take long, we'll call it $100. Hand cream, $10. Sock, $50. It's Armani, I only used the once, so really it's a discount. I mean, And it's pervasive in all of life, I've noticed over here. I was talking to this 8-year-old kid, and he was saying to me, he goes, oh, I went on a field trip last week. And I said, oh, I used to love field trips in England when I was growing up. We'd always go out and they'd say, this is where we all used to live, in mud huts, till those bastard Romans came over and they subjugated us. And they said, you've got to live in houses, you've got to have a bath every day, and you've got to use a toilet. And you're all saying, yeah, I know what you're saying about subjugation. You all know what it means, right, to control and conquer. You're thinking that's what the Puritans did when they came over here to the Native Americans. And I said, no, that's a different word. That's genocide. Spread with the word of God and a little bit of smallpox. But oh, don't worry, I'm not judging. We did it ourselves. But anyway, on this field trip, what they did, of course, this 8-year-old, they went down to the law courts in Los Angeles. That was their field trip. And they did a trial of the big bad wolf. I said, oh, that's a good lesson. How long did the big bad wolf get for murdering those 2 little piglets? What was his sentence? And he says, oh, no, he got off. He had a very good lawyer. That's unbelievable. He said, actually, it was the 3rd little piglet that did time because he countersued. I said, how come? He said, well, the lawyer said that the building wasn't built to code. And when the big bad wolf accidentally fell down the chimney, he got scolded. He got 2nd-degree burn. So that was criminal negligence. So I've looked into some of the teachings over here compared to England. And I noticed the rhymes, nursery rhymes are different. I'll leave you with this one. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down, broke his crown, and got $30,000 worth of damages. So that's not a bad day's work, is it? That's a lot of thinking time. Thank you. Good night.